Welcome to the juggling tutorial. The first element of the setup is your props or elements which you're gonna juggle. In this case, we have beautiful professional balls, leading self, leading teams, leading systems. The balls are filled with sand. They fly, as you can see, perfectly well. They are properly balanced. And most of all, look what happens when they fall, because they will fall. They don't bounce back all over the room, so you don't have to chase them like if they were tennis balls. By the way, tennis balls are the worst idea to start juggling with. So in this way, you will be not frustrated. And we come to the second element of the setup, which is, as you can see, the table I have here. In your case, it can be also a bed, a sofa, a couch. Most important is that, again, when the balls will fall, you don't have to, lean deep to grab them. It will be easy for you to reach for them. You will not be tired, and I hope you will not be frustrated. Last element of the setup, the most important, your head. Juggling is like, I would say, learning to walk. Look at babies, what they do when they learn to walk. It's not easy for them. It takes sometimes months. In our case, it will be shorter, don't worry. But they don't give up. They try, they fall, they stumble, they get up, they try again, they persevere, and finally, they manage. So, wake up the baby or the child within you. Another comparison can be that learning juggling is like learning to ride a bicycle. Let's start with leading self. So the first challenge you will meet is to somehow train your non-dominant hand, in my case it's the left hand, to be as precise as the right hand, okay? You will do it by trying to throw the ball in this triangle pattern. The challenge is that the left hand has to throw the ball at the same height, at the same triangle pattern as the right hand. And when we are talking about it, another thing, try to keep your hands more or less like this. Not too much in front of you, not too much back, just easily like this. And also very important, the ball has to be, when it flies, it has to be at a more or less equal distance between your body, right? So practice this. With two balls, the exercise for you is this one. Okay, just this. Try to throw the ball, and when one ball is at the height of your eyes, by the way, we will juggle at this height, at the height of your eyes or forefront, right? So when this ball is at this height, this is when you throw the other ball. When you start this exercise, you will start it most probably with your dominant hand. But try quickly to go and switch to your non-dominant hand to train it. So start with the left hand. It will be less easy, but with enough practice and patience and perseverance, you will get it. And then do it first with your right hand, then with your left hand. Right hand, left hand. Right hand, left hand. Remember that the pattern, this triangle, has to be the same whether you throw with your dominant or non-dominant hand. That's it. Practice. And at this stage, please don't make the mistake of many beginners, which is passing the ball from one hand to another without throwing it. And then it looks like this. Right? Or, no, this is not juggling, so be mindful of it. Now it's time for the third ball. If you come to this stage, congratulations. So, leading teams. Now, with the third ball, the exercise I will ask you to do is to Do it like this. First, there were 2 balls in my dominant hand. You have to do it in such a way that at the end of this movement, there will be 2 balls in your non-dominant hand, okay? Again. Boom. Just this. Then start training your left hand. At the end of this movement, there have to be 2 balls in your dominant hand. Like this. Remembering about having symmetrical triangles as much as you can, about having them in the same distance from your body. When you practice it enough and you get quite comfortable with it, you can start to somehow enchain the movement and try to have 2 movements, then 3, and then hopefully with the time, it will take some time, 3, 4, 5 and more, okay? And then you start juggling. So the 2 movements would be, okay, so I start with my dominant hand with 2 balls and I end up also with 2 balls in this hand. Or I start with the left hand and I end up also with 2 balls in my left hand. And then, with the practice, try to, as I say, enchain this movement. And I think that over the time, you will get the dexterity. If you ask me how long it will take you to learn juggling 3 balls, there is not one simple answer. It depends a lot on your individual capacities, but most of all on your motivation and determination and perseverance. If you ask me how long it took me to learn juggling, I would say it was from 2 to 3 weeks, 10 to 15 minutes a day or every second day, but regularly. And after those 3 weeks, I could juggle for something like 20, 25 seconds without a drop. And it took me another 2 to 3 weeks to learn juggling for about a minute. And it took me, I would say, yeah, a month or maybe even a month and a half to learn juggling, you know, without looking at the balls like I'm doing now. Keep practicing, and the best way, I repeat, in front of a table or a bed, and try to get friends with the balls. Take them whenever you travel to a hotel, whenever you are in the office and you need a break to de-stress, relax. Try. And maybe even most important, you have to accept and then like and take it with a fun if the balls fall, because in the beginning they will fall. It's fun, it's part of the game. But again, pick it up. Do it with this childish willingness to do. That's all.